Matt, just the way that your team hit the offensive glass early in those first 5 minutes, how much did that kind of set up what happened?
Yeah, well, no question it set the tone. Obviously, we made some shots, but we were able to get a lot of offensive rebounds there in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. And anytime you can have that kind of effort, and we talked about it, whether they're going to play man or zone. We really wanted to try to get on the offensive glass and give us some more opportunities.
Coach, you guys obviously started out pretty fast, and you sort of kept that same consistency throughout the game. Was that something you were talking to your guys about, just being able to keep your foot on the gas?
Well, just trying to maintain our discipline. I thought we got away from it defensively. For us, giving up 36 points in the first half, we normally don't score like we did tonight. So that's a lot. Really, that means they get 72, for the game, and that's for us. We haven't scored like Iowa has scored. And so this is kind of tonight like a game that they would have offensively, with the firepower that they have. So we still had some breakdowns in terms of how we were handling Luka Garza and some of the double teams. He kept getting the basketball and spinning baseline and making plays, whether he was scoring it or getting fouled or coming close to scoring it or getting second chance opportunities. So our ability to make threes obviously was the real separation, in that first half. But just trying to execute to get to that point. Obviously, we shoot the ball well, but when you only have 9 turnovers and you have 29 assists, that's really helped us. Anytime we take care of the basketball and have a good assist turnover ratio, it's normally a good night for us. But when we don't, it really goes the other way.
Why did your team have such success slowing down Wieskamp?
Well, we just tried to stay with him. He's a good player. We put no gel on him, so just to try to, limit his looks, try to keep him out of the paint, and just make it hard for him. And we tried to have good help in there, trying to help on Garza, but also if those guys got biased, trying just to, clog everything up in the paint and get them into shooting pull-ups. But, he's a really good player. He's, obviously been a force for them this year. That kind of gets lost because Garza's been one of the best players in the country. That, how good he's been. And C.J. Frederick's been, fabulous. For a freshman to do that in our league is really impressive.
What was it for you guys that made you shoot the ball so well from three?
Just some execution, obviously against the zone. They're trying to keep the ball out of the paint. We haven't shown, even though we've shot the ball pretty well at home, but over the season, we haven't shot the ball like this. This game was an outlier for us in terms of, making 19 threes. But just the looks that we got, I thought our guys, moved the basketball. We got some inside-outside things. We got some kick-out threes when we got the offensive rebound and sprayed it out, and just tried to make the most of our our opportunities. But a lot of different looks when somebody goes to a zone and what they're trying to stop you from doing. Some of our looks that we got, we haven't hit, and so it was great to see our guys, get on a roll and really have one of those games that hopefully can boost our confidence and continue to shoot the ball well.
The ball movement that you talked about, is that something that you guys were trying to do specifically well for this game, or something that you guys were trying to prepare for?
We always try to move the basketball. Anybody that that coaches basketball, the ball can't stick in guys' hands. You have to have ball movement. You have to have dribble penetration. You got to be able to live in the lane. If you can live in the lane, now things are really going to open up for you. So the defense is trying to prevent that, and you're trying to get there. It's really kind of the essence of basketball in terms of trying to execute and trying to stop people from what they want to do.
Just the job Eric Hunter's doing lately with the ball in his hands as a decision maker, as a facilitator. What have you liked about that? And is he showing some progress there at the right time?
Well, he had 7 assists tonight, which
right.
is, he had a couple tough turnovers back to back there, but for the most part, outside of those, he did a good job. But I think he's done a good job all year. I think he's, had a lot of responsibility for us, whether he has the ball in his hands or he plays off the basketball. He's done some good things defensively. So in my opinion, he's been solid. He has a plus minus tonight of, +41. Mm-hmm. So, being out on the court, and sometimes the box score doesn't always, tell the picture, paint the picture of what guys do. And, sometimes you just have to be steady out there. So, he made some shots tonight, did some things for us, but at times he was just steady. That's what you have to be when other people are making shots.
Coach back here, outside of Lucas 26, all the rest of their scores in single digits. Can you talk about your defensive play in the guard group and what you did to kind of try to shut everybody else down outside of Luka?
Well, to be frank, sometimes your best defense is being great at offense, because you're constantly setting your defense. So we're making all those shots. They keep going against a set defense. And we go up and pick up the basketball, so now we're not going to let them go quick after a make and then advance the ball. And then, because Luka's great at, running the court after a make and beating that big down the floor and then getting that quick post. I think that happened to us once tonight. And he normally gets that 3 or 4 times a game, but they always get those kick-ahead threes. And so we really just wanted to limit that. But our best defense was the fact that we were making shots. So now they're going into set defense. Iowa really thrives in the half court with Luka and with those two guys that move so well. But they also steal a lot of points in transition because they drive the ball so well and they push it. So our ability to score really helped us.
Now with the 19 threes, obviously a lot of guys were making them. I mean, how much is hitting a few early, like by Sasha, and that just kind of contagious for everybody else to kind of feel good about what's going on?
Oh, no question. Anytime you can get guys making shots, and obviously Sasha made a huge one the other night to close out Northwestern. And you just try to build that momentum as a shooter. So to see multiple guys shoot the ball well for us, I think is a real confidence booster.
Matt, what's John done here recently to get back to maybe where he was at the beginning of the year and being a threat for you guys offensively?
Making shots. He's before you go in a slump. I don't care who you are when you're a perimeter player. You're going to have a time in the year, and where shots don't fall for you. And obviously he got going in the Rutgers game. Didn't have a great game against Northwestern, but made a huge shot down the stretch to tie the game. Just get in a rhythm. Obviously, he made all the shots that he took tonight, and he had a couple open looks, and he made the real tough one in the corner. You kind of knew things were going our way when he made that shot.
Coach, just talking about Sasha, but obviously other than the last shot against Northwestern, he's a bit of a shooting slump. What can tonight's performance just say about him and how he's able to bounce back?
Well, he's a good shooter. Even in that, being on the road and he hasn't shot as well, you still stay with guys that, keep working on their shot, that have a good shot. So, tonight he has a really good percentage at home. And obviously he knocked down some shots tonight and got us going. And he just has to stay with it. Even when you have struggles, man, just stay with it, keep shooting, keep looking how you're getting shots in a game, and then work on it that way and work on it at game speed. Just keep working on your craft, and you got to feel good about yourself. There's only one person that can make you feel good about yourself, so you just got to keep working and putting in your time, whether you make or miss. You got to stay consistent with your work.
That's one thing.
You've been in this situation a bunch this year where you've had these really good games at home, good shooting games, and haven't been able to carry it on to the next one on the road. Obviously, you've got a big one Saturday on the
Right.
road. Can you talk a little bit about how just this might help more there?
Yeah, well, you have to. It's a different environment. You have a home game and you have a road game. You have two different styles that you're playing against. You have to execute and get good shots. Indiana has a very good defensive team. They can play a quicker lineup and play more guards. They start a bigger lineup, and they cause a lot of problems getting on the glass and being physical. And but you got to execute no matter who they're playing. It's your guys that you're playing that need to execute to get you a good shot. Obviously, your execution is going to hopefully raise your percentage, but it's also you got to be able to generate some points somewhere else on the road, and that's where we've struggled a lot. You got to get in transition and score the basketball. You got to get on the glass and score the basketball. You got to be able to steal points in some capacity, and if you can, it gets too hard against a good defensive team like Indiana. So it's building off of it, but it's also understanding, as we practice here the next couple of days, what we need to do in terms of execution. But it's been hard for us, but it's also been hard for a lot of other Big Ten teams, that have played on the road. There's very few teams in our league that have been consistent in that area.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Thank you.